All right, here's part B of the WordChecker free response question. And again, this description is basically gobbledygook to me. I can't really understand what the crap that's even saying. Okay, so basically, if I just look at the example, it's a little bit clearer. Okay, so I'm going to change to this so I can draw a little bit here. Basically, here's part B. So we've got an array list. That's the one that's global in our code. It's up here. So it's that word list again. And basically there's the word list up here. And then we're going to call it with an input string, and it's going to find any words in the list that start with that. So here it's starting with cat. So it finds this one and this one and this one. Okay, and then it returns those words, but with everything except the cat in front. So this one returns the CH, and this returns the whatever that is, CH, a cat, whatever that is. And then this cat returns just a blank string because cat's the whole string. So it returns it, but it chops off the word cat from the front, or whatever the input word is. It chops it off from the front. Okay, so looking at the second example here, they call it with catch. Well, I should say on that first one, it has to start with cat. Like Bobcat has cat in it, but it's not going to chop the cat out of there because it's only if it starts with it. Okay, so, so on the second example here, the only one that starts with catch, no, this one is catch, so it chops everything off. This leaves a blank string. This one starts with catch, so it chops it off and leaves a cat there. All right, so it's only two in the new array list. And then the final case is, dog is not at the start of any of these words, so it just returns nothing. Okay, so I think the very first line is we've got to create a new array list to hold the new words. So the first line in this should just be, maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger, is just to make the new array list. And it's going to be an array list of string, just like is shown here, because that's what we're returning. So I don't know, I'm just going to call it words, I guess, equals new array list, strings, parenthesis, and then that's what we're going to return at the end. Okay, so if you knew nothing else about this question, I would at least get that, because that should be at least 1 point, I'm guessing, or something on this one. Okay, and then same thing, I'm going to loop through the other words and then check. So basically the check is going to be so I'm going to call index of. So I'm going to search for like cat. I'm going to take each one of these and search for cat. And if it finds cat right at the beginning, the index will be 0. So I just want to check to see if index of, for whatever this target word is, if that is 0, then it's right in the beginning. Because that's the only ones we care about is if they start with cat. So the check for that, let me do the loop heading, I guess. You probably could do an enhanced for loop here, so maybe I'll do that. So I'm going to take a word from our word list. And again, word list is this global variable up here. And then I'm just going to check. So I'm going to check if word dot index of the target word is equals 0. So that would mean it's found right at the beginning. Okay, and then from there, I'm going to make like a new word, like a truncated word by calling substring, and then I'm going to add that to my list of words. So I have to truncate it with substring. So, but then I'm going to add it. I'm going to do words dot add that truncated word, and that's again what's going to get returned at the end. Okay, so at this point, the only thing I think we have left to do really is chop off the target word from the front. And just to show you how that would work a little bit is here's a couple examples where we have the target of cat. And I think we basically want to call, so the length of cat here would be 3. Sorry for the terrible handwriting there, but the length of cat is 3. 3 letters long. So basically, I think you just want to call substring with a position of length, because that will take from right here all the way to the end. Right? And if we look at another example, if we call length there, use 3 there, we'll take it from here on, which is exactly what we want. That'll chop off the cat from the front. Okay, and remember there's a substring where it just takes from that spot to the end. So I'm not using the one that uses 2 indexes, I'm using the one that just uses 1. And I think the length of the target word will work great. Okay, so if we really want to break it down, maybe I'll do an int length, which is just going to be the length of our target word. So I'm going to call length on that, and then I'm going to call substring on the word I'm on. So I'm going to call word.substring starting at that length, and that'll take from, it'll skip over cat or whatever essentially, and then I'll add that to my target word. I really think that's just it. Make sure you return it after the loop is done running, but loop through each word. Check if it starts with cat or whatever. If it is, chop off cat and add it to the new array list. And if, like in that exact last example of dog there, where there wasn't any, it'll just return a blank array list, which I think is just fine because we initialized it here, and then if we don't find anything, it'll just be blank there. All right, that's it for part B. Thanks for watching.